Hey guys, Parfax here, and today we are asking the question, is New World dying, and is it a dead game? All right, let's get started. So we're here on the forums, and there was a question posted on the forums essentially about the game dying. Now, we're going to go over it here shortly, but as always, like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what your thoughts are on this topic specifically. I know we're going to get a lot of trolls in the comment section, and that's social media nowadays. Please do. I mean, it helps the algorithm, so please go down there and tell me New World's a dead game, stop playing it. But I just wanted to pose the question and kind of talk about this forum post because guess what? AGS responded. So let's go over this post. We're going to read it. We're not going to read the entire thing, but we're going to read a lot of it. We're going to talk a little bit about it, and then we're going to read what AGS has said. So it says, as you already can know, September's new PvP zone, which it's not actually confirmed to be a PvP zone, but from the developer's perspective, is the last chance for New World from their own. If it will not attract players, then even if servers of New World will not be closed, then AGS will stop active work on New World and start developing their new MMO on Unreal Engine 5. What actually mean death of New World? I think it should be would actually mean the death of New World. And here it is. But the question is, if you kill New World, and if all your previous games died, then who will trust you to play your next MMO? Now, we're going to address this question specifically because he has typed it in very big, bold letters, very flashy words, not my preference. I mean, it did get AGS to respond. The answer to this question is no. People don't care. Look at Blizzard. Blizzard has lost all trust in everybody, and still people play their games. People don't care. Everybody talks about gaming companies and how much they really care and how much they care if the gaming company is good. Nope, nobody cares. Everybody has FOMO, the fear of missing out, and if a game is going to, any company, whether it's the worst company ever, if they produce a game that is going to be good, people are going to play it. Sometimes it may take a little bit longer to kind of get going, but especially considering it is AGS or any of the big companies, no matter whether you have produced 25 bad games in a row, if people think it's going to be a good game, then they will buy it. So nobody cares about the trust of their players. That's just a thing of the past. That is something people don't use their money on trust anymore. They don't care. Just look at, well, Diablo Immortal. So here's the bigger question here is New World going to die? Well, they responded, but before we get down there, let's talk about this premise of the MMO dead. Now, the one thing that people are doing is they're watching all these MMO content creators or just content creators in general talking about the death of New World. Now, almost everybody that has put out a video talking about the death of New World, they're just going for clickbait. They're going for that big title. It is a very popular topic to talk about the death of New World because let's be honest, when it comes to content creation, people hate positivity. They love negativity. That's why I haven't made the title for this video, but it's probably going to be something negative because you guys are going to click on it thinking it. Now, I haven't given you my opinion, so stay tuned to see whether I think the game is going to die and see what AGS actually says. But people don't care about positivity. Positivity doesn't sell. There was a great content creator from Magic the Gathering. His name is The Professor. I watch him all the time. And he brought out a video, and he talked about this specific thing where he could post a video that was very positive, and it wouldn't get any views. And then he would have a video titled something very negative, and he'd rant about Wizards of the Coast, and it would get 3 times the views. And that's just the realm that we live in now. Whether it comes to, Twitter, Instagram, any type of social media platform, any type of, media in general, it's all about the negative, YouTube including. So whenever you watch these videos, just know that even if they believe this stuff, they always want to. People are gonna put out way more negative stuff because it just pays the bills, to be quite frank. So, what do I think? Do I think New World is dead? No, I'm still having a blast. It is all about getting in the company that you like. Yes, the numbers are down. They're actually up a little bit, which when people make content, they go to the worst time of the day to possibly pull an extraction of a number. They go to the middle of the night, East Coast, and they go, we're going to screenshot this because it is the absolute lowest, and we're not going to pay attention to what it is at peak because that doesn't actually drive the numbers hard enough. Now, would I say that New World is in a great spot numbers-wise? No. Is the MMO a lot better than it used to be? Yes. I have some opinions on where I think they're going to go, but we're not here to talk about that. We're just talking about, is New World dying? Is New World dead? So New World has gotten a few thousand players recently, concurrent players, not just a few thousand players, a few thousand concurrent players. There's more new players in New World right now than there probably has been since about a month after launch. So it's a very positive sign, and talking to a lot of those new players, they're absolutely loving the game. They've made a lot of improvements towards the new player experience, and they're adding more and more and more stuff in to really help you get through those levels and to get up to the gear score that people are at. The next patch is no different. So now that we've kind of had a short little rant, let's go down and read the response from one of the developers. So the developer says, I'm seeing this new rumor start to fly around. You have nothing to worry about. We do not have plans to close down New World, and the full New World team is wholly invested and dedicated to the long-term health and continual development of the game. Our New World team is working on another project. Amazon Games as a whole, our New World team is not working on another project. Amazon Games as a whole is quite large now, spanning multiple studio locations, and other teams have their own projects, but we're still focused full-time on bringing you new content. And while we've only shared a part of their roadmap, which we've seen that already because they've added more things in there, mainly bounces and a bunch of tweaks, but very good things for the game, we still have many more exciting things to come in the future. Closing this thread is it's purely fear-mongering and based on incorrect speculation, although please feel free to continue letting us know what sort of changes or features you would like to see added to the game to help make it succeed and grow. So let's talk a little about the developer statement. Basically here, they say they are not planning on at all closing down New World. They're talking about still developing content. They talked about they have other stuff on their plans that they haven't told us yet, which is obvious. You can't tell everybody everything that's coming down the road. They did mention, a lot of people have been saying, well, all the New World player or team is working on their new MMO. Everybody, when New World was going to launch, talked about, well, New World couldn't fail because it had AGS backing. It had so much money. But it's funny, those same people now that talked about New World not being able to fail are like, well, because they have a new game out there, or they're building a new game, then there's no way that they could be, they're obviously taking people from New World and bringing it over to that new game. People don't remember that when they were building New World up till after launch, they still had another MMO that they were working on, the Lord of the Rings MMO. It wasn't until I think like 2 months after Amazon had launched New World that they had canceled that project. So that was 2 MMOs already. Now, would I say that there's no correlation over? I'm sure there are. I'm sure there's a lot of the programmers giving them some code, but it is on a different system. So they've clearly seen something on their system that Unreal Engine 5 is probably going to be better at for what they want to do. Now, New World suffers from a few things, and part of it is because they have a 2,000 person world. It really does affect the way what servers and stuff like that can handle, which I think the reason why they went to a 2,000 person server. I wish they'd went to more of a BDO style with channels to where everybody could play on East as one, and then you just have different channels. But I don't know if the servers they have right now could hold that, so I'm not going to worry about that too much. But I wish that was kind of how they went about it instead of the whole bunch of servers, different thing, because as an MMO, it's really crucial to have that really community, and that's an MMO, right? That's the reason why WoW was so successful, because you had that MMO, that group feeling. Everybody loves playing with people. Not everybody, but a lot of people love playing with people, and that's the reason why MMOs have been successful. Having said that, people have started to go towards more the solo play style, which I don't really understand. If you want to play a solo play style, there's a lot of great games out there that you can play that are single player, but that's not really what this video is about. But let's talk a little bit before we wrap this up about other MMOs and what's happened to them in the past. So almost every MMO has failed. The only one that you can consider that had never failed at some point would probably be original WoW, but it was a very perfect scenario of different, things that happened at the exact same time, from being one of the first to really bring you this, group play style. People just wanted to get on WoW for that experience. Was it a great game back then? Of course, it was a great game back then. But the standards, honestly, were very low. Nowadays, we have to compete with World of Warcraft with their, 15 years of experience. You have to compete with ESO, which also was on the brink of completely failing before they came out with their one Tamriel patch. Now you have to compete with things like Final Fantasy, which, well, everybody knows that's kind of like the gold standard for from rags to riches. They basically closed down the game, revamped it, brought it back up, and it is now one of the most successful games out there. Even Lost Ark, one of the newest games out there, failed. It failed in North Korea. And by failed, they didn't close everything down, but they had a very, very loss in population before they came out with a few updates and made it a lot better, and they brought players back. Now, some of that was gearing and stuff like that, and some of it was the pay-to-win aspect they kind of helped out on, but it failed as well. So this notion that an MMO has to come out and succeed right off the bat, whether it is right or wrong, is just incorrect. Because when you're looking in that genre, because MMOs are still wide and so versed, they've been around for so many years. An MMO is meant to be around for 10, 15, 20, even like 30 years. When you're competing with content with a game that's been out for 10 years, it's almost impossible to develop a game that has anywhere near the amount of content. Now, New World suffered from a lot of things that weren't content related. People didn't get to the content part because there was a lot of stuff that really brought down players' morale and players' progression, or at least what they felt like. So that part of the game has pretty much gone. There's not really that many exploits anymore. I haven't seen a dupe bug in a very long time. It's been months and months and months. And honestly, they've made steps all the way in the right direction. Now, they still have some things to work out, but honestly, I think New World is a very, very good game. And I will finish on this phrase, or this little sentence. I said this about 6 months ago, towards the end of last year. So 6, 7, 8 months ago. I said I thought in 2022, New World would be a good MMO. But I think in 2023, it'll be a great one. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Like, comment, subscribe, like always, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.